want to tell you guys about the day I fell in love with sneakers and sneaker culture. I remember exactly when it happened. I remember who I was with, where I was at, the first shoe that kicked it off, who had it, what I was doing, what I was wearing. It's 30 years ago. 30 years ago. I'm 39 now, and I can tell you exactly the way it went down. I fell in love with two things that day. Two things that are still very important to me. The first of the story goes like this. I grew up in a town called Decatur, Alabama, in a neighborhood called Cedar Lake. Cedar Lake was lower middle class. My best friend in elementary school was a kid named Benji Cheatham, who lived directly across the street. He was my first friend. He's the first friend I ever remember having. Benji's still around somewhere, so if you're out there, Benji, what's up, dude? Benji had an older brother named Corey. Corey was probably 6 years older than we were. He was the cool older brother. He had the cool car. He was rocking classic 80s style polo shirt, collars up. He had probably like an 86 Camaro V8, rims on it, sound system in it. We're coming out of elementary school, the end of 5th grade. We had been riding our bikes to elementary school since it was in our neighborhood. And so when 6th grade came around, junior high, my parents and Benji's parents struck up a deal to carpool. Since Benji's brother Corey had just got his license, he was going to drop us off in the morning. My parents were going to come and pick us up. Day one of 6th grade, I thought I was fresh. I had been to the military surplus store and had some camouflage pants on, tied around the ankles, some sneakers of some sort, who knows, nothing of any merit. Brown shirt to match my camo pants. I'm going into 6th grade. I'm a dork. Still a dork. I'm a 40-year-old dork now. But I walk across the street, I knock on the door. I'm feeling full of myself. I'm like, this is the coolest day ever. We're going into junior high. Benji's brother's taking us to school in his cool, black Camaro with tinted windows. Corey and Benji walk out the door at the same time. And both of them have a pair of these right here. Military blue Jordan 4s. So at this point, I didn't really know who Michael Jordan was. I had heard the name. He was getting a lot of hype at the time. I know some other parents were talking about another family buying their kids some $90 LA Gears, talking about how ridiculous they were. How ridiculous the price was that you were buying $90 sneakers for a child. Benji and Corey both walk out wearing the military blue Jordan 4. I fell in love immediately. This was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Super space age. You got the net, you got the lace holders. Just all in all, so futuristic for the time. I mean, let's be real, Tinker Hatfield was a genius. This still stands up today. It's still ridiculous. Nike wasn't even, I don't believe Nike was even a household name at the time. Not in our neighborhood. Maybe it was just a socio-economic thing, or Benji's parents were doing a little better than mine. Back then, my mom didn't work, my dad owned his own business, but I don't know if my dad ever brought home more than $400. He did an amazing job making it stretch. Both of Benji's parents worked. They always had pretty cool stuff. Growing up, they had the Jordans, they had the polo shirts, they had the nice BMX bikes, like all top of the line everything. I was so jealous of these. And that's probably part of the reason that I own them now. This is the shoe that got me into sneakers in general. I fell in love the second I saw them. We get in the car, like I'm kind of jealous because I'm dressed like a dork, and both of them are cool. They both have on like tapered leg Levi's, fresh Jordan 4s that I had never seen before. I didn't even know they existed. We get into Corey's like super cool car. Like I'm feeling like $1 million, even though like I'm a little jealous of what's going on. Corey has a system in his Camaro, 2 12-inch kickers, if I'm not mistaken, which was huge back then. That was big stuff. I had heard hip hop, Planet Rock. I'd grown up in the skating rink, so like West Coast electro was big, New York electro was big, Miami bass was big, but I never heard like street hip hop. And Corey puts on one of the coolest songs that I still think is amazing. You see the impact of it in the movie that just came out, but he plays Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E. So essentially on the same day, on my way to school in 6th grade, I was introduced to Jordan sneakers and gangster rap. Same day. Boys in the Hood, still one of my most favorite songs. I ended up falling in love with hip hop, falling in love with gangster rap. Ended up having a 22-year career as a nightclub DJ, all based on probably hearing Eazy-E for the first time. I was introduced to NWA immediately thereafter, and I went nuts for a few years just gobbling up every bit of gangster rap I could find. Still no Jordans for me. My parents just couldn't afford them. NWA was all about the Raiders. So I was all black everything. So my mom gets a job. We're doing a little better. Christmas rolls around, 1990. And under the Christmas tree, I have this. My first love. The Jordan 5. Black and metallic silver. This is still my favorite sneaker to this day, and it's the first Jordan I ever owned. My mom did me a solid. She fixed me up. Like, I was so blown away. I got these shoes, a black starter Raiders bomber, all Raiders everything. Notice that these are the OGs. I said I would never buy a pair of these until they said Nike Air on the back again and didn't have the 23 on them. So for a long time they didn't do it, but last year they did it, and here they are. So I just kind of wanted to put that story out there of how I fell in love with sneakers and gangster rap. Here we are being all nostalgic about it on YouTube in 2018. Probably culturally one of the most important days of my life. I've probably listened to hip hop every day since. I've been addicted to sneakers every day since. It's amazing how something like that gets in your head, and you ride it out forever attached. And that's kind of what Nike did. Nike turned me on to that, and I've been hooked. And there's no telling how much money I've given Nike over the years. All it took was the first glance.